Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to Princess State of Mind, the show where we talk about fiction, fairy tales, and the fairer sex. I'm Faith Moore, and this is a special Disney March Madness episode of Princess State of Mind. I'm here with my Disney March Madness co-host, C.S. Johnson. Hi, CJ. And I am also here with, and also am part of, the Daughters of Triton, which is an awesome musical group that just doesn't have any music out yet. I'm here with my good friends and fellow Daughters of Triton, Cassie Miratore, who is a former music teacher, so we're going to ask all kinds of music questions. Hi, Cassie. And also, I am here with Jennifer McDowell, who's a blogger and a singer. Hi, Jen.
Hi, glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So we thought it would be fun to bring on a bunch of musical people to talk about villain songs, because we are voting to crown the baddest villain. It's a little tricky because it's like, is it your favorite villain? Is it the worst villain? I don't know. But anyway, we're trying to crown the ultimate Disney villain. And we thought it would be cool to bring on some musical people to talk about villain songs. So who better than the Daughters? So I'm gonna just go through who are the contenders, and I think by the time this airs, we'll have a few people out of the running. Right now, filming this.
Yeah, we're going into this like blind.
Right, we're in the past right now, and we're broadcasting to you from the past, and so we don't know yet who's made it on to round 2. So I'll just tell you who the villains are and what their song is, or if they even have a song. So Gaston, that's his song. Hans from Frozen sings Love is an Open Door. We'll come back to that one. Judge Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame sings Hellfire. Scar from The Lion King sings Be Prepared. Mother Gothel sings Mother Knows Best. Ursula sings Poor Unfortunate Souls. And Dr. Facilier from The Princess and the Frog sings Friends on the Other Side. Those are the only ones that have songs. Cruella de Vil has a song called Cruella de Vil, but she doesn't sing it. Then we've also got the Evil Queen from Snow White, Lady Tremaine from Cinderella, Captain Hook, Maleficent, Jafar, Shan Yu from Mulan, Queen of Hearts, and Hades, who all have no songs. So I think we should just start off. I was surprised to discover that there were so many villains that didn't have songs. Like I kind of assumed there would be more when I thought of this topic. And so I guess I'm going to ask all of you guys if you have a favorite villain song, and why is it your favorite? And if you have a villain song that comes from another movie that's not on this list, you can also tell it to us. Yeah. So let's see. Who should we hear? Does anyone want to go first? Who has a favorite villain song?
I'll go first because, yay. No, my favorite is Poor Unfortunate Souls. And I like this one because, so I have I like the princess stuff, and I like the princess's journey that Faith talks about in her book all the time. So picture book, and but the other side is like growing up, like when you become like kind of like the queen, you're married, you have kids and stuff. I feel like I have transformed into the Disney villain all of a sudden when I have kids. So my kids are complaining about stuff, and I mean it's like goofy stuff that they're like, Mom, we don't want to watch this movie. We want to watch another movie. And it's like, you're not even supposed to be watching movies. And so it's like, it's time to get the Wicked Queen crown out. And I like Ursula's because it's like, yeah, my children are just spoiled. And love you if you're watching this after I'm dead. So it's a good one to sing when I'm angry at them.
That's a good one, I feel like, because it's also like the evil woman, like is one of these tropes, like the evil queen and Lady Tremaine and Ursula and Mother Gothel, all these like evil women who somehow have gotten it wrong in terms of motherhood. And like Ursula's not a mother, but she is kind of this mother figure that Ariel goes to try to get what she needs. And I feel like that can be so frightening. This mother that's not doing her job as a mother, and I feel like Ursula is a good example of that, and her song is really cool. So that's a good one. Cassie, do you want to tell us your favorite villain song?
I also love Poor Unfortunate Souls. I like villain songs personally as an alto
Yes.
The princesses are all the sopranos, and I can really belt out that Poor Unfortunate Soul, or I really love Be Prepared. I used to love singing karaoke in college, and that was my go-to. I was like, it was just
I want to see that right now.
so. And then you get the herd of hyena behind you and get that support too. So I would say I have a tie between Be Prepared and Poor Unfortunate Souls for my favorite.
I feel you on the alto thing. Like, I feel like my husband just got I got him a guitar book of like Disney songs so that he could play the guitar and I could sing, but he has to use that, whatever that thing is called that like changes the key on your guitar, because I can't sing any. Yeah, because I can't sing any of these songs because they're all too high.
I can't sing any of the princess songs.
Yeah. So yeah, we altos, we just have to be the villains of things that are not in life the way it is. And how about you, Jennifer? Do you have
I hate to repeat what everybody said, but I've been watching Little Mermaid a lot with my niece recently, and the song is amazing because Ursula's song, excuse me, because it's in the guise of that she's helping her, and I think that is such an extraordinarily villainous thing to do. And especially the wordplay in the song, I think, is so funny, and how she convinces her, and she goes from this is crazy to doing it, and that I appreciate that in the story.
In our lives.
What are we hearing? Is that your coffee shop today?
Probably. Sorry.
It's funny. I feel like they should join in, whoever they are. But yeah, I think, I don't know. Yeah. Poor Unfortunate Soul is such a good one, and you can't beat Howard Ashman's lyrics really ever. But I think, I guess I'll just put in a plug for Mother Knows Best, because in terms of like just sort of dastardly evilness, in the same way that you, Jennifer, were just talking about the way that Ursula is like acting like she's a good guy, but really she's discussing this horrible thing. I think that Mother Gothel is the epitome of like awful, like abusive, like emotionally abusive parents. And I feel like her song is so like, I love you, I love you, I love you, but I don't love you, I don't love you at all. And I just think it's this amazing encapsulation of something horrible, which is this kind of traumatic experience of having a mother who says she loves you so much, but is doing everything wrong for you. And I think that's a kind of interesting, if horrifying, example.
It's like love born out of narcissism. I love you because you helped me.
Exactly. Right. And it's just sort of like, I love you so much, but you're stupid. I love you so much, but you're chubby. I love you so much, but it's kind of just like it never ends, and the song just keeps going down that path. So I'm kind of a fan in a weird way of that one. So,
I actually have a funny story about that one.
Go ahead.
Okay, so when I was giving birth, I had like my playlist on, and my husband had a bunch of Tangled songs on it. And yes, right as I gave birth, that was the one that was playing. So I looked down at my son, and I'm like, "You poor soul."
That's great. I love it. So then, since it has come to my attention that there are all of these villains that don't have songs, I'm now wondering which villain you think should have one. Like who shouldn't have? Who should have a song and is just robbed that they don't? Okay, Cassie.
Hades needs a song. So technically, he has one in Descendants, but that's not James Wood, so it doesn't count. But yes,
what would he sing about, do you think? What do you think he would sing about?
Sorry.
You would sing about Dada.
Mama, that's you.
That is me. I don't know what he would sing about.
Yeah.
Mama, that's you.
So I think he would probably sing about like always getting the short end of the stick with his brothers. I mean, Poseidon got the sea, and Zeus got the Mount Olympus and stuff, and he's just got this like big ugly toilet bowl of a place to like live in.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen that movie in such a long time. It's one of the ones I want to rewatch, and maybe if Hades makes it far enough in the thing, then I'll do a live tweet of that movie, because I haven't seen it in forever, and I feel like Hades is a really good villain. You're right. He should get a song. I wonder if James Woods can sing. He probably can. But anyway, I would love to ask things.
answers like that.
What?
Let me think about this one.
Okay, Jennifer, do you have one that you think?
I was really surprised that Lady Tremaine, the Wicked Stepmother, didn't have one actually when I was looking at it. Yeah, I think, I don't know, it makes sense though, because music's such a wonderful, lovely expression that villains wouldn't have them because they're so close, you know. Maybe that's a deliberate choice on the point of Disney.
That's a really good point. Like, because the princess, so much of the princess's like whole personality has to do with singing. Like that they sing and that they're able to express their goodness in that way, and they, you know, talk to animals and they sing to animals and they're all princessy. And then, you know, should the villain have a song or not? I mean, I think there's so much you can do with music to convey emotion, right? So that's why to me it's sort of like, why did these villains not have songs? Because like that could be a way to really convey to us that they're evil. But I also agree, like maybe it's because the singing is somehow related to the princess. What do you think, CJ? Did you come up with one? No, okay. That's okay.
I did notice that all the older classics, none of the villains had songs. I think the first one was like Hunchback of Notre Dame, maybe, or like the Renaissance of Disney is when the villains
right.
That was something I never even noticed, even though it was so obvious.
Yeah,
not like that.
No, that's a really good point, because I think if they remade like Snow White, for example, like Snow White's queen is sort of like primed for some sort of awful song, right? Like some amazing villain song, but they don't get them.
Maybe she can have like a cooking show song, because she goes through all those like ingredients and stuff. I feel like Paladine as like as some kind of like song, you know, just singing some songs. Like there's that very like it's like almost, it's like Monster Mash or something. Like there's the double Toil and Trouble song. I can't remember.
Yeah, and there's Thriller too, where they're talking about like the fun of 1,000 years ago. Yeah, so I think yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm looking at like, I feel like, I guess Captain Hook, there's a little song at the end about join up with Captain Hook, but I don't know. Or like Jafar, like why doesn't Jafar have a song? Like that seems a little weird to me. But yeah, Hades is a good one, because you would want that like underworld song, and whatever it would be. I don't know what it would be, but you want that. Okay, so this is kind of related to what we were just talking about. I'm wondering, like, maybe Cassie, as the former music teacher among us, you can answer this one. But I'm thinking, like, what is it that makes a song a villain song? You know that you're listening to a bad guy when you hear a song like, you know, Be Prepared or Poor Unfortunate Souls. I mean, and so it goes to that point of like, you know, the princess sings these beautiful songs, and then a villain song is sort of like, it's very obviously not the princess, it's very obviously something else. And I think, you know, part of that, maybe we talked about being an alto, like it's lower and somehow that conveys something. But is there something else that makes a song sound evil?
I haven't like broken down theory-wise any of the songs. The old tropes of music would be minor keys, or just taking your chord progression down instead of up, because that does, the alto versus soprano type does make a difference in the sounding of happy or sad or angry. And I think there's a lot better percussion in the villain songs. Like you get the boom, like that bass drum type feeling sometimes. I'm not sure.
No, I think you're right. I have no idea. So that sounds right to me. I don't know. I don't know. Jennifer, do you ever, like, I know you sing a lot of different things, or you have in your life. Is there something that
the first thing that came to mind was the cymbals in Poor Unfortunate Souls, and sort of that clashing. And it's really interesting just being near an almost 2-year-old recently. And the songs that they're drawn to are lighter songs. And even if I were to put on actually like a happy but more rock type of music, she isn't interested in it, my niece. And so I think that's really interesting, that I'm sure on some level, all of us, you know, hear the, you know, more clashing and louder and deeper. and something since we're small, we go, oh no, this is the sound of my mom's voice that I know, and that's more of the Disney princess songs, I would think.
Yeah, it's interesting because
it's my own theory.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you're both right, and I don't really have an answer either. But I think that like you're right that there are just these things that we learn from childhood mean certain things, like that this sounds evil, or this sounds good, or this is the good guy because, or this, and we can't really articulate it, but it's true. And I think you would never confuse like Poor Unfortunate Souls with Part of That World, or you would never confuse, like, these songs that are like full of evil for these songs that are good.
Yeah, I will say, like, it's not Disney. Well, it's sort of Disney, but like Darth Vader versus Luke Skywalker's theme in Star Wars is pretty well known. And I actually just let my kids watch the Star Wars movies, the only 3 that are real. Yesterday, and and it was just they like the power that Darth Vader has. I think a lot of kids feel powerless, and that's kind of why they like it. So I'd say it's probably more of a power song, like a power ballad, than anything else. Like Disney princesses don't need power because they have all the power inside of them. So it's kind of like the echoing vacuum from the villains.
Yeah, it's true. It is interesting. Like I'll notice that kids sometimes do gravitate towards the bad guys because they do display power. Like they have like, they come in fighting, they have like a weapon, or they have something that they're doing that's like, that looks strong. And it's harder to kind of explain that, like, well, yeah, but A, it's bad, and B, what you really need is inner strength, not like this gun or this lightsaber or whatever. Yeah, but that's interesting. And that's a good way of like showing that we do know the difference between like good guy music and bad guy music. Is all you have to do is play those 2 Star Wars themes together, and it's very obvious which one is good. So I actually wanted to come back to Hans for a second, because I hate Hans, I hate Frozen, but I hate, what I really hate is this sort of gotcha that like he starts out the movie, and for most of the movie we think he's a good guy, and the only love song in the movie is between Hans and Anna, and then it turns out that he was just kind of faking it the whole time. So Hans is a villain, and Hans does sing a song. He sings "Love Is an Open Door," which is this love song between him and Anna. So the question that I have is "Love Is an Open Door" a villain song? Is it a song? Like, do we put it in there with Poor Unfortunate Souls and Be Prepared and all those other things, or is it a love song?
It's a sneaky song.
It's a sneaky
like
song.
Even just, the lyrics of it. Love is an open door, but he is a closed door. He's hidden behind like this facade, or he's totally faking any sort of connection. Like, we finish each other's sandwiches. Is that really what he was going to say? No, right. He's being sneaky. So it's a sneaky song that seems silly in the moment because you don't know any better, but it does foreshadow the twist once you've seen the twist, if that makes any sense.
No, I think you're right. And here, I'll say what I think at the end. What do you guys think? Do you think that it's a villain song or no?
I don't.
Okay. Because?
I don't know. I just don't. Sorry.
It doesn't sound like one.
No, it doesn't sound like one. Yeah, thank you.
Like if it turned out that Hans was a good guy and Anna's arc continued in the vein that we thought it was going to, then we would look back on that and be like, that was their love song, and yay. But I also agree with Cassie that, like, looking back, it's sort of like the cat. But like, that looking back on it, it becomes sort of icky, because like he's saying all of these things that you would want him to say if they weren't really falling in love, but then he's a murderous psycho. So that's bad. What do you think, CJ? Is it a love song or a villain song?
I honestly think there's a spectrum to this one. It depends on how deeply you want to like analyze it, if that makes sense. Like, I think you could make the case that it's like this very innocent love song where it's like, hey, I like you, and hey, you've got a kingdom, and it all worked out how I wanted, that I might be this ruler guy one day here at this kingdom. So yeah, that's kind lover. He kind of knew Elsa was like, just against any, attempt at courting and stuff. And he had he's 13th in line for his throne. And so it was kind of like one of those things where it could work out just fine and stuff. And like that would be fine. And then if you want to take it on like a cultural or like psycho, kind of sociopathic level, you could make it into a villain song because you don't actually hear him say like he never confesses his love directly, and most of the stuff that he does seem to agree with is kind of like that Mother Gothel narcissism based thing where it's like, all this time I've been searching for my own place, and it's like, oh, here it is, I can just walk right in and take it. So I think it's a spectrum.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I go with villain song because I think that it's so evil. It's so evil to come in and pretend like you're this good guy and take advantage of this young girl who's like never gone outside before. I mean, this is literally like the first guy, except for like servants, that she's met in her life. And, to see, I mean, he sees that. He takes advantage of it. And you're totally right, Cassie, like sandwiches is not what he was going to say. He was going to say sentences, but whatever, she's crazy. So I'll just, sandwiches, so I think that like, for me, that's what makes it a villain song. But that's what I hate about the movie is that like they corrupt this idea of falling in love and make the love song be sung by a villain. And so I think that's evil. So yeah, I think I go with villain song, but it's tricky and it's weird. It's very weird. So I guess, okay, my next question is just about like which villain song, and like for all of you, which villain song do you think would be most fun to sing? Or if you have sung it, you do think it was the most fun. So which would be the most fun villain song to sing from the list? Whoever wants to jump in.
Love is an Open Door. It's such a great song.
Yeah.
It's such a good song. It's so fun. I mean, I turn that up when it comes in the rotation, it's such a wonderful song. I really enjoy singing it.
Who would your Hans be?
My Hans?
Yeah, if you sang it, who would your Hans be?
My villain?
Like if you're going to sing Love is an Open Door, presumably you're going to be Anna, right?
Oh, right. So
who would you sing it with in real life?
Oh, in real life?
Yeah, like pick a celebrity or
come on.
Probably my friend Mike. I love his voice.
There you go. Perfect. Excellent. All right, Cassie, what would you want to sing?
I wish I had the belting powers to do Poor Unfortunate Soul some justice, but I feel like I can handle Be Prepared a little better.
That's good. We should try that one altogether. I'll be a hyena. CJ, do you sing? Would you sing?
Yes, I sing, not very public, but no, I like Hellfire.
Yeah,
I love it that Frollo is like, you have such the degree of irony, I think, that he's supposed to be this religious leader and this figure, and it's like, yeah, so I'm gonna like totally manipulate it to where this girl that I'm just after is either gonna die or she's gonna be with me and satisfy, my needs and stuff. It's so awful and manipulative, but I love it. But I also hate it. So
yeah, I just recently rewatched that movie, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I hadn't seen it since it came out in theaters, whenever that was, like in the 90s. And I was like, this is not a children's movie. This is not a movie for kids. And like, I was like, I said to my son, I was like, you're never watching this, like, until you're grown up. But like, part of it is that song is about something so adult, which is that he's lusting after. It's not anything else but lust, right? He's lusting after her, and then she's blaming her for inspiring lust in him. And so she's saying basically, he's saying, like you just said, like either like I'm going to satisfy my lust, or for the sin of inspiring lust in me, which is not your fault at all, it's mine, like you should die. And I just feel like, whoa, like what is that doing in a kid's movie? Like I do not understand.
I recently reread the synopsis, and guess what?
What?
I think he's the worst one.
Oh, you put him in your bracket.
I think he wins because I'm like, okay, tried to drown a baby right at the beginning of the movie. Yeah, this is the worst villain. And I think we all forgot about it because it was so awful.
Well, I think we didn't understand it when we watched it as kids. You know, like I watched it as a kid and I was like, oh, these gargoyles are kind of funny. And like, I was mad because I think I was sort of either a very young teenager or sort of preteen when it came out. And I was just mad. Like I wanted Quasimodo to get, this is my personal like psychosis, but like I always want the monster character to get the girls. Like I really wanted Quasimodo to get with Esmeralda. What's her name? Esmeralda.
Yeah.
You know, and I was mad about that. So like that's all I kind of picked up on. I did not pick up on the whole like this guy is full of lust and he's gonna kill everyone.
And he like lets him get tied up and like thrown tomatoes at it. Like I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, that is scary. I mean, so yeah, that would be a good one to sing just for the sheer like fun of it, I guess. Like, I don't know. I mean,
if you're gonna be evil, you should be the most evil you can.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's funny. I guess this is kind of a different question for a different day, but it's sort of like villains are appealing. Like they're appealing because of, I guess, how evil they are. So it's almost like, you know, you want that in your movie. Like you want this evil to be overcome, I guess. But I don't want us to run out of time, and I also don't want my computer to run out of batteries, which is totally going to happen in a second. So I think to sort of close all of this out, my question is whether you have a favorite villain and who you think will win, because those are two different questions, I think. So who's your favorite villain, and who do you think should win?
Okay,
Madness 2020. Okay, go ahead, CJ.
My favorite villain on the list is actually Dr. Fresilier. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I could feel sorry for him. I mean, he just wants money, and you know, kind of like the prestige and power and stuff. And he's just kind of, it's in his face a lot, you know. And it's like I can kind of understand why you do all this stuff, even if I don't agree with it and everything. I think that's why he's my favorite. It's sympathetic, and I do kind of like that he doesn't actually like kill the prince, because it's like that's probably what I would kind of do, you know, loophole. It's like, oh, I've got your blood and your corpse, so this shouldn't be a problem. So I mean, he just turns him into a frog. So he's got this. I think he's got this right level of like good, bad, and bad, bad.
Yeah, and he's sort of underrated. That movie is totally underrated. So I'm happy to have a plug for Dr. Facilier.
Yeah, I think also the reason I like him is because Tiana is such a good princess with, you know, she just wants her restaurant. He just wants all this power that money brings him. Like he wants the money, she wants the responsibility that comes with having money. It's nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an interesting thing because at the beginning they're not too far apart. Like Tiana and Dr. Facilier both want a physical, like a material thing, and Tiana has to learn that it's not just the physical thing. You have to have love if you to make it worthwhile. And Facilier just can't figure that out. So he gets to go to hell or wherever those demons came from. I don't really know. Okay, let's see. Jennifer, what's your favorite?
Okay. In looking at it, I think I do. I really enjoy if there's humor in a villain. So I think it's a tie between Gaston and Hades, just because they're both hysterical villains. The one that should win is Frollo. Don't watch it, kids.
Yeah.
Don't watch it, kids. Hands down.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So wait. So you said, sorry, who were your two? That was
Gaston and Hades.
And Hades.
Because they're funny.
Yes, I think you're right. That's a sort of, they're more kind of, well, I guess Hades isn't a human, but they're sort of more humanized. Like they're sort of people that you can imagine kind of meeting, like smooth talking, and then you're like, I love you, but I hate you. And Cassie, what do you think?
My favorites are Ursula and Hades. Ursula, I relate to in a weird, depressing sort of way. And Hades is just fun. But I feel like the evil queen is just kind of like the classic Disney villain. Like she should win the March Madness.
Yeah. I'm surprised how many people like Maleficent. like we had people place their bets, like you know, who they thought was gonna win, I guess. And like Maleficent is like a huge one. I had no idea. So
because she was gonna have the Prince Philip gallop on his old horse when he was like 100 years old out the gate, which is so disturbing.
I did not pick that up as a kid, and then when I watched it again to write the book, I was like, this is the worst like villain thing that your whole idea is that you're gonna have the princess stay 16 or however old she is. You're gonna have her stay a young girl, and then you're gonna get this guy to turn 100 somehow. I don't really know how he's going to stay alive until 100 on his old dead horse and kiss her, and she's going to wake up, except he's 100 and she's still 16. Ha ha ha. I don't know. That is very disturbing to me as well. So yeah,
I just think that why people are maybe drawn to villains is they're so candid about what they want, you know, and they let you know, I mean, mostly except for the Frozen thing, but, yeah, I think that's maybe something kids are drawn to too. She's like, this is what I'm going to do to you. Like in Sleeping Beauty. And you're like, oh,
yeah, it's not complicated. It's
I know who you are.
Yeah. I mean, in real life, evil is complicated and it's not always totally evil. Right. But in these movies, these villains are just, they're villains. They're evil. And even if they have some reason for being evil that we can understand, it's sort of like, we know like that's wrong and you deserve to be vanquished at the end. So that's good. All right. Well, we're out of time. It remains to be seen who will win Disney March Madness 2020. But I like my buttons. But thank you so much for coming on the show and talking to us about villain songs. I'll do one more plug for the Daughters of Triton, because one day we're going to put out some sort of song and people should know who we are. So we are the Daughters of Triton and mini
villain song.
Yeah,
villain song.
What's that?
You guys should do a princess song and a villain song.
We should.
You could do a mashup. So
yeah, I think we should do what's the one from Hercules that Meg sing and then the muses are in the background? I think we should do that.
Yes, that sounds great.
Yeah. Anyway, so thank you so much for being on the show, and I really appreciate it. And if you're watching, whenever in the future, I'm now communicating to the future, whenever you're watching this, you should make sure that you are following CJ. Here's her Twitter, and also me. Here's my Twitter, because that's how you can vote to advance your favorite bad guys to the next round. So make sure you're following us on Twitter and vote, and let's see, and we'll come back and tell you more soon. And also, you can win prizes. So like, just keep watching. This is going to be great. Okay, bye.
Bye.